conversation. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the return of Pablo. It's always, yeah. Yeah, we're still down one. But yeah, no, it's gonna be great to have him back. I think he's missed 6 games. I know he's excited to be back, so I haven't seen him yet, but yeah, I will. Yeah, I think he just got here around 4:35. He came right from the airport. Yeah. Yeah. We'll try to probably keep their initial runs a little on the shorter side, see where they are with their win and their second win. But we got a few days coming up here that are, don't play again until Sunday, so we can manage those days. So we'll see what the guys have, but yeah. I think so. I would think so. Yeah, for sure. It's a natural filler right there. And he's 20 years old, so he's got a lot of energy. He can play all day long most nights. So. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, it's always excited to play. That's the great thing about him is because it plays with such pure spirit. But I know he'll be ready and he'll be, wanting to put on a show, I'm sure.
Hey, Coach, we'll start with questions.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just way more aggressive. Last year when I arrived, they were very much like a bend but don't break type defense, and we wanted to be way more aggressive. We have a lot of young players, so we kind of simplified things and just made it more like aggressive, more attack orientated. We wanted to create a lot more turnovers, and just kind of fly around and pursue the ball a little bit more, and then just trying to find pick and roll coverages that are most comfortable and useful with Cat and try to protect him. And then, obviously just adding a guy like Patrick Beverly, who has such a defensive acumen and high care factor and bleeds throughout the team. And then the emergence of Jared Vanderbilt as a defender. So it's been a combination of personnel and approach.
Sometimes steals on high numbers can be a little misleading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extend their gamble, et cetera, but the steals and the forcing the turnover seem to be pretty high.
Yeah, I think when you look at our defense in terms, our pick and roll defense is more aggressive than most nights that teams face. I think it's a little bit of a change up that, when a lot of teams are in a softer or a drop coverage and, we're up a little bit more aggressive. So sometimes it catches teams off guard. I think that adjustment's probably lends itself to more turnovers. But now as we play teams multiple times, they're a little bit more. So we got to adjust as we go through the season 2 now. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Coach, we'll start with Katie. Katie, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I know that you got in about 2:50 in the morning. Back-to-backs are nothing new, but just as far as a coach, what's the best approach to this game tonight? I know you touched on it a little bit earlier with Chris. You're keeping initial runs on the shorter side, but other than that, just what's the approach tonight?
Well, the first thing is, with your players, you don't make too big of a deal of it. You don't want to keep telling them how tired they might be because then they're going to believe it. But we let them sleep in. We had a late gathering meeting before the buses. We try to adjust our schedules to give them as much rest as possible, and then focus our concentration on the game as close to the game as possible. And then we just have to see everyone reacts differently to back-to-backs. I know our bench has been coming off a couple good performances, so I know they'll be ready to go anyway.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, last time you guys played the Hawks, they hit 25 threes, and I think Utah hit a bunch right around that number too, right before that. since then, the numbers have fallen a little bit, at least. Like, have you seen improvement in the way you guys are defending it, or are other teams just kind of missing shots? Like, what have you seen in terms of how that is coming along?
Well, certainly, teams that can load the floor with a lot of shooting are, always going to be able to stretch you out when you play defense the way we do. So it's about covering ground, and a lot of it, John, comes down to shot contests, as we talked about all season, just being able to contest shots at a high rate. The last time we played Atlanta, we didn't do that. I think we gave them 33 of their 51 threes or something like that were open threes. That's just inexcusable, but they got them in all different ways. They got them in transition. They got them off the offensive glass on the kick out. They got them, certainly out of pick and roll, some of them, but, so just that week, I think we gave up Cleveland, Utah, and Atlanta just roasted us from the 3-point line. So we did talk about some small tweaks to be able to help ourselves when we face that type of shooting.
We'll go last question to Britt. Britt, go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I know that you like to sort out touches and shots among your players out on the court. After the All-Star break last year, you specifically wanted to run more of the offense through Cat. And I'm just wondering now, as the season unfolds, when there are times when he doesn't really disappear, but doesn't get as many touches as usual. Is that something that concerns you at the time, or is it something you just feel has become part of the fabric of your team?
It doesn't really concern me, Britt. I know that, like last night, as that game was going on, I just didn't feel like directing the offense to him because they were so physical. He wasn't getting a whistle. They were double teaming in the post. They were handsy on the perimeter. So I thought, well, we'll just, we'll go away from him, use him a little bit more as a decoy. And then obviously we're able to go back to him when the matchup favored him and they didn't have as much, beef on the floor to counter him. So I'm not really worried. Cat's been super efficient. Like he's been, if he gets 15 shots or 25 shots, like he's shooting at a high rate, finishing at a high rate. And we know we can go to him all. And a lot of times he's deferring out there. Like we'll put the ball in his hands and he'll kind of get off of it and keep the offense moving over. That's important though for us too, because if you remember early in the season, we had a lot of ball stopping. And we've asked everybody to kind of pick up their ball movement, and he's been, leading that charge.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you post game.
Okay, thank you. All righty.